Yo, what's good, everybody? This is Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction, and we're back at it with a Black Clover chapter 312 review and breakdown. And all right, the officials came out yesterday, so let's dive into it. So the actual name, well, actually, before we dive into this, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the notification bell, subscribe, and if you want to support me directly, you can get my manga, the Most Random Manga Ever. It's the first cannabis manga comic. There's cannabis comics. This is the first manga style one. So check that out. But anyways, Black Clover chapter 312. Before the Door of Hell. Woo! Woo. And it starts off with all of the Black Bull members basically, doing their thing. They're just all like crazy, like, we broke an awful lot. And Ghost just all like, nobody cares, it's the enemy's hideout. Gordon's just all like, well, I mean, technically it's the Spade royal families first, and Lotus is just all like, man, some more lunatics dropped in, although that's helpful actually. And then Dorothy is just like, great time at Black Bulls, so nice to see you again. And then Morris, Dante told me about you. Now, what's interesting is, I think Animegasm brought this up, but there seems to be a connection between like Dorothy and the Black Bulls, and I find that very, very interesting because when we first saw Dorothy fighting was in the Elf reincarnation arc, and she was with Vanessa, Charmy, and then her going against Yami as far as in the captain's battle and different things like that. And then her talking to Noelle, telling Noelle about like, the actual stuff with Magicula. So Dorothy, like, a lot of people were upset because she got off screen basically. But the thing is, like I said this in my leaks, I was just all like, this should show you as far as how powerful Morris is. Now, also take into consideration that Dorothy, because she's the captain, she was probably told about this stuff, but the Black Bulls are pretty much the only ones who even knew enough about, Dante and the Dark Triad, because they've, each had to deal with them. So I thought that was very, very interesting. Now, Morris goes on to say, as he has these little, it's almost like literally, it's like he could create demons straight from his hand almost, because it's just all like, I'm trying to figure out how he's able to just have like these hands and different things like that. But he goes on to say how much he wants to dissect them and everything, and Dante already told him about 2 arcane mages. And then we get, Rogue, Vanessa trying to use Rogue, and her saying Rogue's power isn't working. And then Morris goes on to say, hey, my stuff can interfere with concepts, bitch. And then he goes on to say, the moment that I touch you, it's over, son. But then we also get a really cool backstory of Gray and her fortification magic. Basically she's alchemist up here. Alchemist. But all my hip hop fans know what's up. But yeah, so that's really, really dope. And then now she's only able to do 1 at first. Then she's just like, this takes a lot of focus, so I can't transform. It's humiliating. And Ghost is just all like, does this look like the time for that? For now, just shut up and look at me. And he does the Mirror Brigade makes duplicates of Gray, and she's able to do that. And then Morris is just all like, well, you know what? I've been chosen by the most powerful devil, so let's go ahead and see what some of this magic can do. Gravity magic, presence of the Demon King. It's like he's just sitting up there with a whole Rolodex and shit. Like, I wonder what this one does. You know, and he's just all like, it's not possible to change the properties of gravity, bitch. And he's just all like, let's use this to dismantle them. Then we get the other thing, which is super dope. We always get like a 2-in-1 with Gordon and Henry, because we get as far as the backstory. Gordon comes home, and then he said, after half a year of research and training, I did it. I transformed poison into medicine. At this point, my curse magic turns curses into strength, and he does modified poison curse magic, curse worker's neighbor. And we see, as far as Henry, he has short hair. We can see his full-fledged face. You know, it was the first time us seeing that. And then we get the, I want to say that this is Henry's state in this, but now I can choose magic power I'm going to absorb. Before, he would just be like, YOLO, if you come close, snatch, you know, but now he's able to actually choose who's magic. So guess who's magic? He's jacking the devil's magic. And he starts literally rearranging as far as the base, and then boom, decks the shit out of Morris. I mean, it was just all, he was just all like, what? He was like, I just imagine. That's why, like, with certain things, I'm just like, yo, it is a trip. That's good that this is like an anime, or like, you know, not real, because it's just like, yo, people getting jacked up. And then during that time, we get the rest of the Black Bulls coming in. Now, remind you, the last time that the Black Bulls were all together like this, unless there was some little random thing in between that they can go down, but this has been the first time that they've all been together, I want to say, since like the 6-month time skip, you know, so that's really, really dope. Now, Morris goes on to say, through all sorts of experiments, I made myself into a higher being. Then I obtained the talents of the ultimate devil host. And then they're just like, shut the hell up. And then Austin's just all like, so you're the last enemy devil host. Mage scholar Morris of the Diamond Kingdom. We don't care who or what you are. We've got just one thing to say to you. Bitch, give us back our captain. Paddle, Gangster, like this is even more, I want to say, dope than them coming in to save Asta, because it almost looks like the house is almost on fire, you know, but it looks so freaking dope. Now, there's several things that I want to break down. You know, and I was looking at a couple of videos. There's something that, you know, I had brought up before. Now, everybody was asking, where's Nacht? Where's Nacht? Now, I'm not sure if, because here's the thing. Some people are saying that Nacht has interior motives, and I can definitely see that, especially when you think about the Faust lore and everything like that. Now, another thing that, you know, seems more likely is we forget that Nacht is the one that can transport people, large groups of people. So we have to take into consideration that because Finral's there, so where's his brother? Where's Jack? Where's Nozel? Where's Real? Where's Charlotte? And we're just talking about the people who were fighting the Dark Triad. You know, so that's something to take into consideration. There's a possibility that Nacht is actually like going back and forth, you know, to get the other people, because it, you know, remember Nozel even was saying himself that, you know, we got to get Yami back. You know, Charlotte, you know, has her thing for Yami. So it's, you know, remember this is basically, you know, the last issue in their way. It would make sense that they would be there. Now, they came flying in on Charmy's cotton magic, except for Asta. He came in like a G on his sword. How many people ride swords like the flying freaking Nimbus? You know, that's why Asta's the freaking GOAT. But that's one of the things. Another thing that's very interesting to me is I don't think we've really gotten to see the potential of Gosha's Mirror Brigade. We've seen it in multiple things, but imagine multiple freaking Saint Stage Noel, Saint Stage Uno, Devil Union Asta. You know, that's one of the things that I'm thinking about. Like, what can he actually do? And then we have to take into consideration that Gray's magic is not transformation magic, which means that when she does change into a person, she basically is that person. So can she change into Asta with an anti-magic sword and be able to do the same thing that he does? You know, like, those are the things that are going through my head when I think about this chapter. Now, there's, like I said, we don't see Nacht here. Now, that could have just been as far as the way that, you know, he wanted to do it. Again, a more logical thing is that, you know, Nacht is, you know, getting the other people. Not that they couldn't create something, because Nozel can make, you know, a bird. Charlotte, I mean, she could pretty much like move with her plants, and then Real can just paint anything that he wants to, you know. So it's very, very interesting. I'm curious to see what's about to go down, because my thing is, I personally feel like Yami is going to come out of this alive. Remember, we're talking about the person, like the OG of surpassing their limits. We really haven't seen Yami in this type of predicament. And even when things seem very, very serious, it almost seems like it's very interesting. It's almost like he's so chill about it. You know, I think the only, like, I feel like there's a level of Yami being captured on purpose. You know, that would be crazy. But, you know, we will see. We will see. Could it be that they could take Yami and the tree will still be going, and their main thing is to, you know, get William? Or what if in the process, in order to actually save Yami, William sacrifices himself? You know, who knows? But I personally think Yami's about to bust out of this joint. Another thing is, it's very interesting how Yuki Tabata has been writes his villains. The only one, and it's like when they get to a certain, like, I don't know if he does this on purpose, but it's almost as if once they get to a certain devil power, they just start repeating things. Because, for example, a lot of what Vanica was saying, like, over and over when she had Magicula, it was just all like, yo, all the devils, Dante, you know, Vanica and Zenon, like, it's like after a while they all started saying the same thing, and I was just all like, is that due to, maybe that's what he, like, Yuki Tabata's trying to say in regards to going past a certain thing? Because you have to take into consideration, Dante was basically trying to drop some jibs on Asta. I wouldn't say jibs, I would say like toxic or something. But, you know, he had more dialogue than I'm the best, I'm this. You know, Zenon really didn't say much, but when he did, you know, he seemed like the most compelling person, and then that's where we really get somewhat of a Dark Triad backstory, was through him. So we'll see. What are y'all's thoughts on this chapter? Where do you think Nacht is? Leave your comments below. And the best one, I will show that next video, and we'll talk about it. Anyways, this is Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction. Make sure to hit the like, make sure to hit the subscribe, make sure to hit the notification bell, and make sure to cop my book, The Most Random Manga Ever. Now, this isn't the only book that I've created. This is just the first manga that I created. But I do have a fiction book, Ideas of Illusion, and then I have a mixed book, which is an anthology of me and other people. I also have CBD, Prerolls, the composition Prerolls, and my most recent single, Invincible Summer. You can get all of that in the link in the description. Peace.
In the darkness, turn the galaxy into my office. Translating thoughts into deep science. Got the sun in my pocket, build your resilience. So when the next winter cycle comes, I prepare with no losses. The work of the solo, it's a boss. At the heart of my winter,